Once good morning. We are going to continue the reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and today it's just me. We have to, with all of you, reading. Okay, so we are going to start chapter 16 of the Antya Lila. The Lord tastes nectar. We can read a little bit of the summary. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Guru Varga ki Jai. So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes nectar from the lips of Lord Sri Krishna. The 16th chapter is summarized by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravaha Bhasya. When the Bengali devotees of the Lord returned to Jagannath Puri, a gentleman named Kalidas, who was an uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami, went with them to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kalidas had tasted the remnants of food of all the Vaishnavas in Bengal, even Jadu Thakur. Because of this, he received the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. When Kavi Karnapur was only 7 years old, he was initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu into the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He later became the greatest poet among the Vaishnava acharyas. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate the remnants of food known as Balava Bhoga, he described the glories of such remnants of the Lord's food and then fed all the devotees the prasad. Thus they all tasted at the Ramrita, the nectar from the lips of Lord Sri Krishna. So we're going to start with text 1. Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanyam, Krishna Bhavamritam Hiya, Aswadyas Vadanjam Bhaktan Prema Diksham Asikshajat. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who personally tasted the nectar of ecstatic love for Krishna and then instructed his devotees how to taste it. Thus he enlightened them about ecstatic love of Krishna to initiate them into transcendental knowledge. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord. Ei Mata Mahaprabhu Rahena Nilachale Bhakta Gana Sange Sada Prema Vi Vale. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus stayed at Jagannath Puri in the association of his devotees, always merged in ecstatic devotional love. Varsantare Aila Sava Gaudera Bhaktagana Purvavat Asikaila Prabhura Milana. The next year, as usual, all the devotees from Bengal went to Jagannath Puri, and as in previous years, there was a meeting between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees. Tan Sabara Sange Aila Kalidasa Nama, Krishna Nama Vina Tenho Nahi Kohe Anna. Along with the devotees from Bengal came a gentleman named Kalidas. He never uttered anything but the holy name of Krishna. And Kalidas wasn't he the uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami, the uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami? Maha Bhagavata Tenho Sarala Udara, Krishna Nama Sankete Chalaya Vyavahara. Kalidas was a very advanced devotee, yet he was simple and liberal. He would chant the holy name of Krishna while performing all his ordinary dealings. Kautukete Tenho Jadi Prasaka Kelaya Hare Krishna Krishna Kori Pasaka Chalaya. When he used to throw dice in jest, he would throw the dice while chanting Hare Krishna. Purport. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns the men of this age not to imitate the jesting of a Mahabhagavata like Kalidas. If someone imitates him by playing with dice or gambling while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he will certainly become a victim of offenses unto the holy name. As it is said, Harinama Bole Pape Prabriti, one must not commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Playing with dice is certainly gambling, but it is clearly said here that Kalidas did this only in jest. A Mahabhagavata can do anything, but he never forgets the basic principles. Therefore it is said, Vaisnavera Kriya Mudra Vigneha Na Bhujaya. No one can understand the activities of a pure devotee. We should not imitate Kalidas. Raghunatha Dasera Tenho Haya Jnati Kuda Vaisnavera Uchista Kaite Tenho Kaila Buddha. Kalidas was an uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami. Throughout his entire life, even in his old age, he tried to eat the remnants of food left by Vaishnavas. Gauda Dese Haya Jata Vaisnavera Gana Savara Uchista Tenho Karila Bojana. Kalidas ate the remnants of food of as many Vaishnavas as there were in Bengal. Brahmana Vaisnava Jata Chota Bada Haya Uttama Vastu Beta Lanya Tanra Tani Yaya. He would go to all the Vaishnavas born in Brahmanas families, be they neophyte or advanced devotees, and present them gifts of first-class eatables. Tanra Tani Sesha Patra Lajena Magiya Kahana Paya Tabe Rahe Lukanya. He would beg remnants of food from such Vaishnavas, and if he did not receive any, he would hide. Bojana Korile Patra Pelanya Yaya Lukanya Sei Patra Ani Chati Kaya. After the Vaishnavas finishing eating, they would throw away their dishes of leaves, and Kalidas would come out of hiding, take the leaves and lick up the remnants. Sudra Vaishnavera Gare Yaya Veta Lanya Eimata Tanra Uchista Kaya Lukanya. He would also take gifts to the homes of Vaishnavas born in Sudra families. Then he would hide and eat the remnants of food they threw away in this manner. Bunimali Jati Vaishnava Jadu Tanra Nama Amrapala Lanya Tenho Gela Tanra Stana. There was a great Vaishnava named Jadu Thakur who belonged to the Bunimali caste. Kalidas went to his home, taking mangoes with him. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that both Kalidas and Jadu Thakur are worshipped at a place called Sri Patavati in the village known as Bedo or Baduya. This village is situated about 3 miles south of the village of Krishnapur, the birthplace of Raghunath Das Goswami, which is about 1 mile west of Biandel Junction of the Burdwan line. A post office there is named Devananda Pura. Jadu Thakur used to worship the deity of Sri Madan Gopal. The deity is still worshipped by one Ramaprasad Das, who belongs to the Ramanjet community. It is said that the deity worshipped by Kalidas had been worshipped until now in the village of Sankhya on the banks of the Saraswati River. But the deity has been taken away by a gentleman named Mati Lala Chattopadhyaya from the village of Triveni. The deity is now being worshipped at his place. Amra beta dija tanra charana bandila, tanra pat nire tabe namaskara kaila. Kalidas presented the mangoes to Jadu Thakur and offered him respectful obeisances. Then he also offered respectful obeisances to the Thakura's wife. Patni Sahita Tenho Achena Vasilla, Bahu Samana Kaila Kalidasere Dekiya. When Kalidas went to Jadu Thakur, he saw the saintly person sitting with his wife. As soon as Jadu Thakur saw Kalidas, he likewise offered his respectful obeisances unto him. Istagosti kata ksana kori tanra sane, Jadu Thakura kahe tanre madura vachane. After a discussion for some time with Kalidas, Jadu Thakur said something to him in sweet words. Ami nicha jati tumi atihi sarvotama kon prakare karimu ami tomara sevana. I belong to a low caste, and you are a very respectful guest. How shall I serve you? So this is Jadu Thakur saying to Kalidas. Anya deha brahmana gore ana lanya dije, tahan tumi prasada pao tabe ami jije. If you will permit me, I shall send some food to a brahmana's house, and there you may take prasad. If you do so, I shall then live very comfortably. Kalidas kohe, Thakura kripa koro more, tomara darsane ainu, muy patita pamare. Kalidas replied, My dear sir, please bestow your mercy upon me. I have come to see you, although I am very fallen and sinful. Pavitra hainu muy painu darasana, kritarta hainu mora safala jivana. Simply by seeing you, I have become purified. I am very obligated to you, for my life is now successful. Eka vancha haya jadi kripa kori kara, pada raya deha pada mora mate dara. My dear sir, I have one desire. Please be merciful to me by kindly placing your feet upon my head, so that the dust on your feet may touch it. Thakura kohe, aiche, bat kahite na yuyaya, ami nicha yati tumi susajana raya. Jadu Thakur replied, It does not befit you to ask this of me. I belong to a very low caste family, whereas you are a respectful rich gentleman. Tabe Kalidasas loka padi sunaila, suni Jadu Thakurera vada suka haila. Kalidas then recited some verses which Jadu Thakur was very happy to hear. And these verses are spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is found in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. I'm going to just read the translation. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhar Ki Jai. Even though one is a very learned scholar in Sanskrit literature, if he is not engaged in pure devotional service, he is not accepted as my devotee. But if someone born in a family of dog eaters is a pure devotee, with no motives for enjoyment through fruitive activity or mental speculation, he is very dear to me. All respect should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted, for such devotees are indeed as worshipable as I am. This is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And more verses are quoted here, spoken by the Lord. This is Kalidas reciting them. A person may be born in a Brahmana family and have all 12 Brahminical qualities, but if in spite of being qualified, he is not devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped lotus like a lotus. He is not as good as a Chandala who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the service of the Lord. Simply to take birth in a Brahmana family or to have Brahminical qualities is not sufficient. One must become a pure devotee of the Lord. If a Swapacha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself but his whole family. Whereas a Brahmana who is not a devotee but simply has Brahminical qualifications cannot even purify himself, not to speak of his family. And this is a verse following, this and the following verse are quoted from the Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear Lord, anyone who always keeps your holy name on his tongue is greater than an initiated Brahmana. Although he may be born in a family of dog-eaters, and therefore, by material calculations, be the lowest of men, he is glorious nevertheless. That is the wonderful power of chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who chants the holy name is understood to have performed all kinds of austerities. He has studied all the Vedas. He has performed all the great sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. He has already taken his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. And it is he who is factually the Aryan. Suni Takura kahe sastra ei satya kaya, sei sresta aiche jante Krishna bhakti haya. Here in this quotation from the revealed scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Yadu Thakur replied, yes, this is true, for it is the version of the Sastra. It is true, however, for one who is genuinely advanced in devotion to Krishna. So it is true, however, for one who is genuinely advanced in devotion to Krishna. Ami nija jati amara nahi Krishna bhakti, anja aiche haya amaya nahi aiche sakti. Such a position may befit others, but I do not possess such a spiritual power. I belong to a lower class and have not even a pinch of devotion to Krishna. Of course, this is his humility, right? So maybe we can, it's quite a long purport here. Shall we read the purport and then conclude this reading? So it's explaining, Srila Prabhupada is extending the explanation of this, of what Yadu Thakur is saying, that he's not got the qualification of a Vaishnava. In his statement, Yadu Thakur presents himself as being born in a low caste family and not having the qualification of a bona fide devotee of Lord Krishna. He accepts the statements declaring a low-born person highly exalted if he is a Vaishnava. However, he feels that this description from Srimad Bhagavatam appropriately describes others, but not himself. Yadu Thakur's attitude is quite befitting a real Vaishnava. For a Vaishnava never considers himself exalted, even if he factually is. He is always meek and humble and never thinks that he is an advanced devotee. He assigned himself to a lower position, but that does not mean that he is indeed low. Sanatana Goswami once said that he belonged to a low caste family, for although he was born in a Brahmana family, he had associated with Melechas and Javanas in his service as a government minister. Similarly, Yadu Thakur presented himself as someone who belonged to a low caste, but he was actually elevated above many persons born in a Brahmana family. Not only is there evidence for this in Srimad Bhagavatam, as quoted by Kalidas in verses 26 and 27, there is also considerable evidence for this conclusion in other Shastras. For example, in the Mahabharata, Vana Parva, chapter 180, it is stated, if the characteristics of a Brahmana are found in a Sudra and not in a Brahmana, that Sudra should not be known as a Sudra, and that Brahmana should not be known as a Brahmana. Similarly, in the Vana Parva, chapter 211, it is said, if a person born in a Sudra family has developed the qualities of a Brahmana, such as Satya, truthfulness, Sama, peacefulness, Dhamma, self-control, and Arjava, simplicity, he attains the exalted position of a Brahmana. In the Anusarna Parva, chapter 163, it is said, if one is factually situated in the occupation of a Brahmana, he must be considered a Brahmana, even if born of a Kshatriya or Vaishya family. O Devi, if even a Sudra is actually engaged in the occupation and pure behavior of a Brahmana, he becomes a Brahmana. Moreover, a Vaishya can become a Kshatriya. Therefore, neither the source of one's birth, nor his reformation, nor his education is a criterion of a Brahmana. The Brita, or occupation, is a real standard by which one is known as a Brahmana. And only a little bit more, so hold on. We have seen that a person who is not the son of a doctor and has not attended a medical college or sometimes able to practice medicine, by practical knowledge of how to perform a surgical operation, how to mix medicine and how to give certain medicines for certain diseases, a person can receive a certificate, can be registered as a medical practitioner in the practical field. He can do a medical man's work and be known as a doctor. Although qualified medical men may consider him a quack, the government will recognize his work, especially in India. There are many such doctors who perform their medical services perfectly. They are accepted even by the government. Similarly, if one is engaged in Brahminical service or occupational duties, he may be considered a Brahmana, despite the family in which he is born. That is the verdict of all Shastras. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, this is a statement by Narada Muni to Maharaj Yudhishthir, wherein Narada says that the symptoms of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya are all described in Shastra. Therefore, if one is found exhibiting the symptoms and qualities of a Brahmana and serving in a Brahminical occupation, even if he is not born a Brahmana or Kshatriya, he should be considered according to his qualifications and occupation. Similarly, in the Padma Purana, it is said, a devotee should never be considered a Sudra. All the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be considered as Bhagavatas. If one is not a devotee of Lord Krishna, however, even if born as a Brahmana, I'm going to read it again. If one is not a devotee of Lord Krishna, however, even if born of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya family, he should be considered a Sudra. In the Padma Purana, it is also said, if a person born in a Brahmana family is a Vaishnava, a non-devotee, one should not see his face, exactly as one should not look upon the face of a Chandala or a dog-eater. However, a Vaishnava found in Varnas other than Brahmana can purify all the three worlds. The Padma Purana further says, one who considers a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was born in a family of Sudras, Nisadas, or Chandalas, to belong to a particular caste certainly goes to hell. A Brahmana must be a Vaishnava and a learned scholar. Therefore, in India, it is customary to address a Brahmana as Pandits. Without knowledge of Brahman, one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a Vaishnava is already a Brahmana, whereas a Brahmana may become a Vaishnava. In the Gaudiya Purana, it is said, if even a Melecha becomes a devotee, he is to be considered the best of the Brahmanas and a learned Pandit. Similarly, Tattva Sagara says, as bell metal is turned to gold when mixed with mercury in an alchemical process, so one who is properly trained and initiated by a bona fide spiritual master becomes a Brahmana immediately. All this evidence found in the revealed scriptures proves that according to the Vedic version, a Vaishnava is never to be considered a Brahmana or a non-Brahmana. A Vaishnava should not be thought to belong to a lower caste, even if born in a Melecha or Javana family, because he has become a devotee of Lord Krishna. He has become purified and has attained the stage of Brahmana. Dvijat bam jayate ninam. So that was the end of that purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila explaining further what Kalidas was quoting from the Lord himself, the slokas that we read. And we can continue tomorrow the conversation between Kalidas and Yadu Thakur. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. And we do have some hope, right? Some aspiration to become one day a devotee of the Lord, despite all our disqualifications and faults, right? And birth too. So you want to sing Hari Haraya Nama Krishna? And actually tomorrow we can start with this book, Divine Guidance. Jai Srila Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Srila Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama
Jadavaya Madhavaya Krishnavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Srimad Sudhana Giridhari Gopinath Namaha. Sanatan Bhadragunata Jiva Gopala Bhadragunata Jai Sai Kori Charana Vandana Janha Harite Vignana Sapurana Jai Gosai Jar Muitaro Dacha Sabara Padare Pancharasho Niracharana Chevi Bhakta Sanivasa Janame Janame Moreya Vilasa Jai Gosai Jave Braje Kurnavasa Krishna Lila Kurila Putana Anande Bolo Hare Vaja Vrindavana Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kuriyata Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kuriyata Harinam Sankirtana Kore Narottam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Jai Sri Goswami Guru Bhagavad Jai Sri Natya Harinam Vedanta Purti Jai Jai Sri Vishnu Vaishnava Raja Sabha Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Jai Sri Harinam Sankirtan Jai Nitai Gaura Prema Jai